morning. How is everyone doing today? We are going to be talking about how love comes with a cost. Thank you for liking the live, Mimi. Let's share this. How love comes with a cost. And love comes with a cost that most people don't want to pay. And the reason why most people do not want to pay the cost of love is because they're very either ego driven, they're unhealed, their soul is fragmented. They don't know how to love themselves. So when you do not know how to love yourself, it's hard to receive love and it's hard to give love, okay? When you do not know how to love yourself, it's very difficult to love others. I know there are people who say things like, I love you more than I love myself. How can you love yourself? How can you love me more than you love yourself? That doesn't even make any sense. That means you don't really love me. The thought of love is to take care of yourself first. The thought of love is to take care of yourself first so that you can love according to the scriptures, or you can love. The word of God says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So how can you love your neighbor if you don't love yourself first? How can you love your spouse if you don't love yourself? It's not true love, okay? It's when someone says to you, I love you more than you love yourself, that is a red flag. There's no way in God's green earth should you love me more than you love yourself. Even with your children, right? You love your children. I'll do anything for my kids. But if I don't put myself first, if I don't put my mental health first, if I don't put my good food in my body to maintain my body, to live a life where I can be a good role model or inspiration or motivation for them, then what good am I doing for my children? I cannot love my children more than I love me. Okay. And if we see it, a lot of moms are weary and they're tired because they put their children first. And it's not that you don't love your children, but you have to make time for yourself. I just wanted to put that in there. Okay. But love comes with a cost. And the cost of love is a bill that most people aren't willing to pay. That's why we see divorce, at a high percentage. You see divorce at a high percentage, even more so in the church than you do of the world, right? Because people don't know how to love. They mask love with things like religion. They mask love with things like gifts. They mask love with things like approval and applause and what can you do for me? Scratch my back, I scratch yours. Transactional type of love. People even manipulate love, right? Okay. Now, what does the word say about love? Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Okay? Love never fails. Love is disciplined. Okay? Love is disciplined. When I was like a child, I thought like a child. But now that I am a man, now that I'm a woman, I no longer think as a child. So when you think of love, love is growth. Love is maturity. Love is, I'm so self-aware or self-disciplined that I put away my fleshly desires to honor you, to love you, to choose you. So when you have someone in your life who says they love you and they continuously hurt you, that is not love. That's their interpretation of love. That is their definition of love. Because the definition of love is it protects, it defends, it sees the good, Okay? It's patient. It's kind. It does not envy. You're with someone and they're jealous of you. That's not love. That's not love. Okay? You see someone, you're with someone and they're dishonest, that they don't speak the truth is not in them. That's not love. That is not love. Love is patient and it's kind. Okay, and that's the cost of love. That's the cost of love. Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice. He paid the ultimate price for love. He paid the ultimate price. He became the sacrificial lamb. He paid the price. He paid the cost to let you know that he loves you so much that he's willing to give up his life. He put his fleshly desires aside. Yes, he was God in human form. So yes, he walked on the earth as God, but he also experienced this life as man. Okay? And he said, I will give up my life to prove to you how much I love you. Because love is long suffering. Now, when we think of the word long suffering, we think that I should suffer with you or for you. Okay? When we think of the word long suffering, we think of an excruciating pain because I love you. Drag me through the mud because I love you. That is not what that means. Long suffering means self-discipline. Why? Because discipline does not feel good. Because I love you, I long suffer. I discipline myself. I discipline my flesh. I die to my flesh. So if I'm a man and I love this woman, knowing that I've had a woman problem my whole life, I can't seem to stay with one woman. But if I say I love you, I will die to my flesh. I will discipline my flesh so that I am loving and committed to one woman. That is how you know a man loves you. You cannot love me and hurt me. You cannot love me and destroy me. You cannot love me and be jealous of me. You cannot love me and cause me intentional pain. Okay? That is not love. You cannot love me and anger me. You cannot love me and cause me to sin. If you love me, you care enough about my salvation. Okay? If you love me, you care enough about my salvation. If you love me, you cannot love me and cause me to sin. Right? You cannot love me and cause me to sin. And we have so many of these platforms, and they frustrate me. These platforms, they frustrate me, where men are talking about their expectation in a woman and women talking about their expectation in a man, but no one's talking about the true issue here. No one's really doing a root cause analyst here. No one's analyzing the root cause of the problem. What's the true matter here? What's the true problem? Okay? And the true problem isn't your high expectations, because your high expectations come from a root. And the root is you don't know what love is. You have no clue what love is. In order to give, or in order to receive, you must give something, because love comes with a cost. You must give up your ego. You must give up your pride. You must give up even your thought process or your decision, how you normally make decisions. You must give up something in order to receive. Most of us don't know what we want or don't receive what we want because our soul is fragmented. It's in 1,000 pieces, 100 pieces. And then our expectation is, I want someone to fix that. I want someone to come in and put those pieces together. I want someone to build my puzzle piece by piece, bit by bit, structure it. It's not the other person's job to do that. So you go into a new relationship with this expectation of fix me, love me, fix me, love me. But it's not their job. It's not their job, because healing is made available to you. Through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, you have healing. Healing is made available to you, but you have to get it. You have to go and reach for it. It doesn't just come to you, right? So we go into the world wanting something, wanting all this good from someone else, and we don't even give it to ourselves. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. The Bible is telling you to love yourself. You have to love. When the word of God says, pick up your cross and follow me, it didn't say pick up your cross, pick up your children's cross, pick up your husband's cross, pick up your wife's cross, pick up the person down the street's cross, pick up the person you're sleeping with cross. It says pick up your cross, work out your salvation. You have to put yourself first. Come on. Are you hearing me? So love comes with a cost. You got to die to your flesh. You got to die to your desires, to what the thing that is leading you astray. You have to resist the thing that is hesitating, or resist the thing that is resisting you from becoming great. You are your own worst enemy. You are. You are. And listen, I understand we've gone through things, right? Our life experiences, our childhood traumas, our bad relationships, our up and down roller coaster of a life. But at some point, we have to say enough is enough. I can't blame mama anymore. I can't blame daddy anymore. I can't blame that person that hurt me to my core anymore. I can't blame the person that essayed me anymore. I can't blame the people that rejected me, talked about me, mocked me, ridiculed me anymore. I cannot do that. I got to learn to love myself. I got to learn to love myself, heal myself. You know, of course, with the work of God, because it's a team effort. It's a team effort. But it takes you saying yes. The first step of healing is to be honest that you have a problem. So we cannot go into the world expecting people to just be all this. Love is patient, love is kind, love is this. It does not envy, it does not this, right? When we are not doing it ourselves. The reason why the world is like the way it is because you have a lot of hurt people. And if you're single, or have the opportunity to talk to people who are single and they're out there in the dating pool, 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you the dating pool is horrible. Because you have these podcasts leading men into destruction. They're destroying the way these men are thinking. And then you have these podcasts with women telling women, yeah, go get the money, go get the bag, go get this. What? But no one's saying go get someone who's healed. No one's saying go get healed so you can attract other people that are healed, because everybody's just trauma bonding. Whether you're trauma bonding rich or trauma bonding poor, you're trauma bonding. Okay? Whether you're trauma bonding rich or trauma bonding poor, you're trauma bonding. Rich people are broken too. Just because they have money, it doesn't mean they're broken. I know people or knew of women who dated rich men that were very abusive, emotionally, physically abusive. Just because you have money, it doesn't make you a high valued man. A high value man is a state of being. It's not what you have in your pocket. It's who you are in the core of your darkest self. It's how you show up. So you can be a high value man making $50,000 a year. We've got it all wrong here. And we are destroying our people, right? We're destroying each other because now it's man versus woman. And we have come to we're in the middle of this battle zone fighting this war that we shouldn't even be fighting if we just learn to heal. Okay? If we just learn to heal, we wouldn't be fighting these battles. It's all spiritual to keep you from being fruitful and multiplying. Because if the man can hate the woman and the woman can hate the man, then there's no children. Then there's no success. Then there's no kingdom building. Then there's no being an example and a role model for the next generation to see how marriages can be beautiful and how people can work together. Everyone's tired and frustrated and fed up. Do you not see what's happening? It's a spiritual battle. And we've become more concerned with what our hair looks like, what our nails look like, what our clothes look like, what the price of tea in China looks like, than we are with our inner man. Okay? No one's really willing to give up something to receive anything. That's why the word of God says obedience is better than sacrifice. Obedience is better than sacrifice. You think, oh, I sacrificed my time. I invested my time. And I invested my time and you're not giving me anything I want because I invested my time. I spent 5 years with you and you're not doing what I'm asking you to do. I've showed up. I've done this. Obedience is better than sacrifice. If you would have just obeyed God in the first place and knew that this wasn't the person for you, you wouldn't be having this conversation with this person for the last 5 years on how you've done and what you've done and what you brought to the table and who's the table and you wouldn't be having this conversation. This person wasn't for you in the first place. And you keep on fighting people that aren't for you. You keep on fighting with people that are not for you. They're not for you. I gave a whole message on anything complicated doesn't come from God. Right? Because the word of God says, I've made you simple and plain. It is you who makes things complicated. It is you who makes things complicated. So if you're making it complicated, if your situationship is complicated, if that person that you've been telling the same thing to for the last 10, 20 years, could you imagine being with someone 20 years and not having a real commitment? Being with someone for 10 years and trying to prove your love for them for the last 10 years. Every other weekend you're having the same conversation. Why you keep on hurting me? This is what I've done. Why you won't commit? You've had this person's babies. You've done everything. And they still are not falling into a line where you think they should be falling into. I'm gonna say something to you right now. That person is not for you. That's not who God has for you. And that's why there's so much complexity in that dynamic, because that's not who God has for you. And no matter if they wake up next to you and say, baby, I love you, or no matter if they say, I want to do right by you, they'll never fall in line because they're not for you. You are not for them. But we keep on forcing these doors open. We keep on trying to pry the doors open that God is like, hey, listen, I need to close this door because you'll never get to where I need you to be. Don't you know that the enemy sends you people in your life to delay you and he'll mask it as love? These people, he'll send something that's familiar to you and mask it as love. Mask it as perfection. He'll mask it because if it looks familiar, then you'll be comfortable with it. You ever had a dream of someone and you dated them a long time ago and you're dreaming of them? And then you wake up wondering, should you call them or not? No, that was the enemy sending you someone in your dream, sending you a familiar spirit in your dream so that when you wake up, you could desire that person. My best friend, we had a conversation the other day and she called me and said, girl, I need to talk to you. I said, okay. So she calls me and she says, hey, listen, I was thinking about calling such and such. The same such and such that you know is a waste of your time. She's been on and off with this person since high school. We're now 41 years old. So the same such and such, I said, let me put something into perspective for you. He's familiar. And when people are familiar, he's what you call a safe. He's an unsafe, safe place. He's unsafe because he brings a lot of pain and he brings a lot of hurt and tears and confusion. So he's unsafe, but he's safe because he's familiar. See, the mind is conditioned to receive what's familiar, but the heart wants something new. So you're in a constant battle between what you want in your heart and what your mind wants, okay, to receive, what it's conditioned to receive. So you're in a constant battle of what your heart wants. Your heart wants something new. Your mind wants what it's conditioned to receive. So I said, absolutely not. I said, you just graduated from law school. You have a wonderful job. You're about to be a lawyer. You have your kid. You have a great place. I said, don't you understand that the enemy will give you a desire? He can't force you to do anything, but he'll put the desire in you. The desire in you. He'll give you a thought. And from that thought, you'll malfunction. Oh my gosh, I thought about such and such last week. I wonder what they're doing. Then for weeks, you're desiring, your body is craving this person that's no good for you. And it's a setup to keep you back from progressing. It's a setup to keep you back from moving forward, from going ahead. The enemy's tricks aren't new. They're not new tricks. He'll get you with the same trick over and over and over again, but he works off of timing. Okay? Did you hear what I said? His tricks aren't new, but he'll work off of timing. He'll wait 2-3 years. He plays the long game. He'll play the long game. He'll wait 2-3 months. He'll play the long game. He'll wait the 2-3 months when he thinks that your attention is now somewhere else. And the next thing you know, you're back on that hamster wheel again. And you didn't even realize it was the trick of the enemy because his timing. You got to see the pattern of the enemy to know your enemy. Did you hear what I said? You have to see the pattern of your enemy to know your enemy. Because once you know and recognize the pattern, you know your enemy, and then you will not get played. He keeps on playing with you. And the reason why he can play you like a sucker is because you don't know his patterns. You don't know his patterns. Some of his patterns work during your ovulation. You're ovulating. Oh my gosh, I'm craving Mr. No Good. You're going through something. I'm craving Mr. No Good because Mr. No Good, at least he's a good listener. He may not have treated me right, but he'll listen. He'll listen because he listens because he doesn't care anyway. He'll give you advice. Yeah, you should have did this. You should have did that, to look like the good guy, to look like the hero that comes to save the day. Dun, dun, dun. Listen, I'm telling you, when they start to come in your life, you got to start to see them for what they really are. Characters in a cartoon. Characters in a cartoon. And this message can go vice versa, right? For man or for woman, but because I'm a woman, I speak from the perspective of a woman. So I use men as the example because I'm a woman. All right? But you got to see them as who they really are, characters. Characters in cartoons. So when that jokester comes in your life, right? When he comes back in your life, or when he comes in your space or your circumference, and he's coming to save the day, play in your head. Dun, 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 dun. I'm telling you, you'll start to move differently. You'll start to move differently because you'll start to see their patterns. You'll start to see them for what and who they truly are. I tell you guys all the time, my husband left me after 13 years of marriage, right? I tell you, so if you've been on this channel before, you know the story. We've been separated for 3.5 years. We're finally on step 3 of our divorce. Now, during that time of separation, I've dated people. I've gone on dates. I've seen people. Whatever. I thought I was free. Whom the sun sets free is free indeed. Okay, God, you gave me a second opportunity. I'm going to go and have some fun. And he was like, yeah, I doubt it. I doubt that's how you're going to move. Okay. And in the process of me dating and meeting people, I discovered that, man, my patterns suck. My patterns are terrible at choosing men. So God allowed me to be in this separation for 3 years because he knew I still have a moral compass. I can't just go out and act loosey-goosey because I'm still someone's wife, even though I'm not someone's wife, but I still have a moral compass. So he allowed this time of healing for me to show me my patterns so I will not get played again. So I won't play myself, and so the enemy can't play me. He heightened my level of discernment. I had to discern the spirit. I had to test the spirit. I had to test it to know it. Okay? I couldn't just date a person because they're good looking. I can't just like a person because they're tall, dark, and handsome. I can't just like a person because they got money or they're great business people. And God was showing me, hey, look, there's something in your decision making. Your patterns are terrible. Yeah, these people might approach you, but it's me who chooses them. You're approaching me, but I choose you. Did you hear me, ladies? Men think they choose women, but in all reality, I say yes to the dress, okay? I say yes to your ring, right? You found a wife. You found me, but it's me who says yes to the dress. So my yes could break you or make you, right? My yes can break you or make you. It is me that has the power to choose whether or not I want to be your wife or not. You have the ball in your court at all times. The ball is in your court. So when you keep on saying, I don't know why I always get the bad men. I don't know why I always find these men. You're choosing them. They might knock at your door, but you open it. Did you hear me? They might knock at your door, but you open it. You have the power to choose. Why do you think God created Eve while Adam was asleep? Okay? Why do you think God created Adam? Could have been awake. He could have been awake and God just like, hey, let me, but he put Adam to sleep. There's something about a woman that is mysterious and delicate. That's why Eve was able to convince her husband to eat of the tree of good and evil, of knowledge of good and evil, when God had already told them not to. It's not the power of the cat. Believe me, it's the power of wisdom. And if you ever read the Bible, you know that wisdom is always preferred. Like when they talk of wisdom, it's always in the feminine. She. Because women have the power to manipulate wisdom as well. Okay? So you have the power. Oh my gosh, Tia. Baby girl. Amen. Okay? So you have the power to choose your destiny and what your future looks like. You see the red flags? You see the train wreck? What do you think's going to happen? If you see if you're standing on the track, you see the train coming and you don't move, what do you think is going to happen? You have to learn to shift quickly. This ain't for me. On to the next. 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 Don't stay in something long, because people that come knocking at your door, they bring spirits with them. And I'm not talking the door to your physical home. I'm talking to the door of your heart. The door to your soul, the door to your mind, the door to your emotions. And they come knocking, and their first thought is, how can I deposit this in her? That's why being intimate with someone isn't just intimacy, it's a deposit. It's an exchange. It's, I'm going to give you something, right? So they're giving you something and you receive it. So some of you are getting something and you think it feels good, but in the long run, what you're receiving is heartbreak, heartache, emotional roller coaster, up and down emotions, tears, crying at night, long drawn out conversation with your friends for months about the same thing over and over again. He did this, and your friend, she's about tired of your behind. So she's just been like, girl, yeah, I know. She's run out of advice, so she just sits quiet because she don't know what else to say. And the only thing people are saying is, you're too beautiful. I hate that. I can't stand that. You're too beautiful. What does beauty got to do with the way I'm being treated? Okay? What does me being beautiful have to do with me getting hit upside my head? You're too beautiful? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? You think because I look good, I don't deserve this treatment? No. It's because I'm human, because I'm a child of God, because I'm somebody's mother, somebody's wife. Somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's child. I'm somebody's friend. I'm human. I'm a child of God. That's why I don't deserve this treatment. Not because I'm beautiful. Is that the best thing you can say? And I hear it all the time. You know, when you see these women post these abusive relationships and tons of women I'm being very honest, with their slow way of thinking automatically says, you're beautiful, girl. You don't deserve this. You think she's going to listen to you? No, she'll be right back with him next week because you told her she was beautiful. She doesn't deserve it. That doesn't penetrate the soul. Okay? That doesn't penetrate anything. That doesn't do anything. You're beautiful. You don't deserve this. Anytime a woman has walked out of a situation, they never said, I realized how beautiful I was. And I realized because I was that beautiful, I didn't deserve this. I didn't deserve this. No, you don't hear that. But what you do hear is, I realized my worth. I realized my value. I start to fall in love with me again. You don't hear now one woman say, I walked away from a man because I realized how beautiful I was. Because that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. But that's the advice that we're giving people in today's society. So ugly people deserve this abuse. So people you deem to be ugly, people you deem to be unattractive deserves to be hit upside their head. Are people really sitting back and saying, well, they're ugly anyway, shucks, who cares? Come on now. Come on. Let's put our thinking caps on. All right. Let's put our thinking caps on. True love is going to cost you, right? True love is going to cost you. What does it cost us, Coach Alise? Letting go of your ego. Being with someone who lets go of their ego. Forgiving when it's hard. Being with someone who forgives when it's hard. Showing up when you're tired. Being with someone who shows up when they're tired. Being present when it's inconvenient. Being with someone who shows up, being present when it's inconvenient. Choosing to stay when walking away is easier. Being with someone who chooses you daily. That's love. I'm not going to tell you, go find a man who makes 6 figures. Go find a man who makes 8 figures. Go find a man who's a millionaire. Go find a man who's a billionaire. I'm not going to tell you that. I don't conform to that thought process. But I will tell you, choose a man who chooses you daily. Choose a man who loves you with a mindset of long suffering, meaning I will die to my flesh. I will put aside my fleshly desires. And when I mean fleshly desires, women, because some of you, you're a little selfish and you need to get out of it. I'm not talking about a man who puts aside his business, his work to talk to you all night on the phone or to take you out when he knows he has things to do as it relates to his business, his job. No, I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm talking about a man who knows I have a problem. I have a corn problem. I have a sex problem, but I'm going to get the help that I need because I love you. I choose you daily, and I want to make sure this thing works. Okay? They want to make sure this thing works. Man, be with a woman. Men, be with a woman who are supportive, who chooses you, who ignites your fire, who honors you, who shows up in this world. And when the world looks at her, they look at you. And when the world looks at you, they look at her and say, man, this is a dynamic duo. Stop being with loose booties. Stop being with women. And this is not an insult on women, but stop choosing women who can't love your children. Because if they can't love an extension of you, then they don't really love you. They will sell you right under your nose. There's no way a woman loves a man wholeheartedly and cannot accept his kids. No way. A woman loves you wholeheartedly but looks at your daughter and can't stand your own daughter because your daughter reminds her of your past, which is the ex-girlfriend. There's no way. There's no way. You can't love me and not love what comes from me. There's just no way. Men, stop choosing women because you think all they have to offer is their beauty. Stop it. Beauty is fleet. Beauty does not last. That's why we can see someone beautiful back in the day. Okay? And they're now a crackhead and oh my gosh, did you see such and such? She's now a crackhead. Oh my gosh, she was so beautiful. Because beautiful is inner. It's not outer. True beauty is the inner parts of you. It's your heart posture. That's why men can marry women. I see it all the time on this app, don't you? People marrying each other for disabilities. Lady have no legs, but no legs, but got a good husband and 4 kids and no legs. And most men will look at her like trash. On to the next. Man was burnt in a fire, but his wife looks at him every day like he's the best thing since sliced bread. Why? Because beauty is inner. Has nothing to do with the outer appearance. Nothing. There's this pretty girl on this app, what the world would deem to be beautiful. And she's with this guy who's in, what the world would deem to be big. He's a big, big dude. Like, he's big. Okay. He doesn't, he's a big dude. And the world can't understand how this beautiful, slim woman is with this big, huge dude. It's like, because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You're not supposed to understand how I see this person. You're just supposed to sit back and congratulate me and cheer for me and want the best for me. You're not supposed to understand it. I was married to an Italian man for 13 years, and my ex-husband was off the boat Italian. He's not Italian American. And most people couldn't understand. You guys are just so, I don't understand. You're not supposed to understand. I didn't even understand half the time. Okay? I didn't even understand half the time. He dressed different from me. He wore his hair different from me. And through the years, what I did was, hey, honey, this will look good with that. This looks good with this. That looks good. Why don't you wear your hair like this? Keep some hair on your face. You're getting older. Have some hair on your face. I think, dress like this. We're getting a divorce. And you know what? He'll still come to me and say, how does this look? How does this look? Sometimes people don't come packaged the way you want them to. You got to put a little time, effort, and care. It's the delivery. I didn't like the way he dressed. I didn't say, hey, I don't like the way you dress. I went shopping for him. Hey, honey, how do you feel about this? I could walk into Zara, know his size, know his clothes, know his shoes, know what he likes, come back home, and he likes everything I laid out. That's putting care and attention and time into the person that you love. But I tell you this much, could he do it for me? No, he couldn't. He couldn't walk into a store and say, oh, my wife would love this. Couldn't do it even if he tried. You know why? Because there was no care, there was no attention, and there was no concern. I wasn't his priority. I didn't even come in line to nothing. I had to compete with the outside world. Okay, who wants to deal with that? So what I'm saying to you is that love shows up. It shows up even when it's inconvenient. I proved my love because I showed up. It wasn't reciprocated. It wasn't. And I learned, and that's okay, and we move on gracefully. I didn't slash his tires. I didn't key his car. I didn't call his job. I didn't write on Facebook or Instagram, you've hurt me, you did this to me, you done that to me, you ba. I moved on gracefully. I cried in my bed. I cried my tears. Many nights I couldn't go to sleep. I went to therapy. I had a life coach. I talked to my sisters. I talked to my friends. I stayed away from temptation, maybe entertained a little temptation. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. You can never put on me that I publicly embarrassed you. I moved out of his life. when he rejected me gracefully. I didn't say, if you don't be with me, I'm going to hurt me, harm me. If you don't be with me, I'm going to tell everybody how you are. I'm going to exploit you. I'm going to show your videos. I'm going to tell them all the times you did this, that, all the times I cried, all the times you cheated, all the times you bop, 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 bop. I moved on gracefully with my integrity and with my dignity. And it wasn't always easy, but it's possible.